Hi everyone, how are you today? Let's learn driving theory with me. Town driving. It's important for us to make an eye contact when driving in town because by making eye contact, you show your intention. You also understand what others intend to do. Therefore, there will be fewer misunderstandings between you, the other car drivers, and even pedestrians. Drive steadily, show what you intend to do. Sound and light signals, the positioning of the car, and the use of indicators usually applies in busier town traffic as well. Attract attention by using sound and light signals. If you think that people don't see you, you can use your horn to warn others. Flashing with main beam sometimes work as well or even better, but you must not use your horn to greet someone on the streets. Brake lights. Your brake lights show that you are reducing your speed. By braking once, cautiously, you can warn the driver behind just before applying the brakes and slowing to the correct speed. This is very useful when driving on a country road or in heavy traffic. How about speed? When your speed is appropriate for the conditions, you have more time to observe what is happening around you. You must never drive so fast that you cannot stop in the area or you cannot see the road ahead. You must be able to stop before reaching any foreseeable obstacle. Eye contact. As I said before, eye contact is very important. Learn to interpret the other road user's intentions through eye contacts. Looking straight at road users makes it easier to understand about their intentions and also for you to show your own intentions. Next, positioning. If you are turning to the right, position your car close to the right-hand curb, both before and after the turn. What if you want to turn to the left? If you want to turn to the left, position your car as close as possible to the center of the road, and complete your turn on the right-hand side of the road. At junctions, you must position yourself to the right of center. So it's center, but right of center. Otherwise, there will be a problem if someone comes out of the side street. When vehicles from opposite directions meet in narrow streets, a driver with an obstacle on their behalf of the street must give way. To enable the oncoming vehicle to get through, it may be possible to use a gap in parked cars. Remember to also leave a safety margin for cyclists and pedestrians when you pass them. The same applies to parked cars. A suitable margin is at least the breadth of a car door. Indicators. Use indicators when you are in the following situations. When you intend to move off from the curb, when you intend to make a U-turn, when you intend to turn at a junction, when you intend to change lanes. In general, whenever you intend to move your vehicle sideways, you need to use indicators. Also, when you want to leave a roundabout, you also have to signal. Use indicators. Hazard warning lights. When you select hazard warning lights, all the car's indicators are on at the same time. This warns others if you have stopped in an emergency or you have been involved in an accident. You may also use hazard warning lights when towing. Let's talk about children. Children are very impulsive. They tend to, they may not always obey people. This makes them unpredictable in traffic. Some children find it hard to judge distance correctly. Children are also still developing their hearing skills as they grow. That's why they may not have a fully grown hearing abilities. They play almost all the time. Sometimes they play in make-believe worlds that they forget the traffic around them. Children are small. They cannot be seen behind parked cars and hedges. This also makes it difficult for them to see cars. They cannot foresee and calculate risk. School bus warning. Behind a school bus, we also have to be careful. Look for feet under the bus. Always think that a child may suddenly rush out across the street. Car exhaust fumes contaminate the air. Children are particularly sensitive to the car fumes, exhaust fumes. School crossing patrols. School crossing patrols have no authority to stop motor traffic. They just have to ensure that the children can cross the road safely. However, we cannot rely on children to follow instructions. Reduce your speed and stop when you see that pedestrians are waiting to cross the streets. School buses. A school bus that has stopped to sit down or take a passenger is a warning sign. Be extremely careful. To make you aware that the bus is going to stop, the bus driver starts using the indicators 100 meters before the bus stop. They continue to flash while at the stop. They stop flashing about 100 meters after pulling away from it. They flash. Okay. How about elderly people? Many elderly people have declined cognitive abilities. They have problems to see and hear. Therefore, we must show them consideration and give them time. They need to think and come to the right decision. When crossing a street, visually impaired people use the stick in the following way. The stick is pointed straight down while they wait and listen. The stick is extended diagonally forward when they intend to cross. A guide dog provides excellent help for people with visual impairments. You must not distract a guide dog that is wearing a white harness by trying to contact it in any way. All right, let's move on to rules about driving in busy streets. Give way rules. The give way rules use the expression duty to give away. This means that you must clearly show your intention to give way to others by slowing down in good time and, if necessary, stopping. The priority to the right rule. It means you have a duty to give way to vehicles approaching from the right side. It is the most frequent give way rule at road junctions. It also applies when the courses of two vehicles intersect in any kind of open space, for example, in a car park or at a petrol station. We have to give way to the cars from the right side. Sometimes the road junction warning traffic sign is used to remind you that the priority to the right rule applies. This may be in places where visibility at the junction is obscured. The sign might also be erected at junctions where accidents have happened. It is common for drivers to form their own rules, but remember, it's the right rules that applies. However, the priority to the right rule does not apply when joining a major road, when you are driving on a major road. So when you're driving on a major road, you're on the main road, you don't give away to the vehicles from the right side. Where giveaway or stop traffic signs are erected, where traffic lights are in operation, you have to follow the traffic lights, where an acceleration lane is in use, at roundabouts. Major road junctions. The yellow signs show that cross traffic has a duty to give way. Looks like this one. This means main road. Traffic wanting to join the major road has a duty to give way. This is shown by a traffic sign and a road marking. At certain junctions, there are stop markings and stop lines. Left-hand turn at a junction. First, make eye contact with the lorry driver so you are aware of each other. Here is an example. Next, exercise extreme caution because of vehicles concealed by the lorry. Then check whether there are any pedestrians and cyclists crossing the street after the turn. Now you are ready to turn left. All right, so when we want to turn left at the junction, we have to be aware of the traffic in front of us. Major road junctions. At busy road junctions, the priority to the right rule is inadequate and works poorly. Busy streets are often major roads. The major road designation continues until ended by a cancellation sign. Driving on major roads means that traffic from both right and left has a duty to give way. Drivers approaching the junction from side roads are warned of their duty to give way by a traffic sign. The traffic sign is usually reinforced by road markings. All roads give way. There are also junctions at which all the roads are subject to the give way rule. These have give way signs and flare wax weighing supplementary plate. If several vehicles arrive at such a junction at the same time, it's important to be extra cautious and show mutual respect in resolving the situation. At some road junctions, the duty to give way is reinforced by a duty to stop. Probably because the visibility is poor and they're having some accidents in the past. You must then give way before proceeding further. You must stop at the stop line, or if there is none, immediately before joining the other road. All roads stop. There are some junctions where all approaching vehicles have a duty to stop. This is called all roads stop. The vehicle that stops first should then be the first to drive on. To avoid misunderstandings, it's important to show consideration and make eye contact with the other drivers. Turning at the road junction. When turning at the road junction, you must not obstruct traffic on the road you are turning into. There may also be pedestrians or cyclists. When you turn left at the junction, you must also give way to oncoming traffic. If a vehicle from the opposite direction also wants to turn left, you must be extra careful. Make eye contact with the driver and be ready to give way to other vehicles that are concealed from behind. Joining a street or road. You always have a duty to give way when joining a road or street from a parking place, a property, petrol station, or similar, a pathway, private driveway, or similar exit, a cycle lane, a virtual shoulder, pedestrian precinct, access road or off-road terrain, a footpath or cycle lane that you have crossed. Buses at bus stops. Be very careful when you are passing a bus stop, because you never know when there is someone at the front of the bus about to turn into the road. Reduce your speed and be alert. Be alert around the bus stop. If the maximum permitted speed is 50 kph, kilometer per hour, or less, you must give way if the bus driver uses the indicators to show the bus wants to move away from the bus stop. If there are several lanes, this only applies if you're driving in the right-hand lanes. Do not block junctions and pedestrian crossings. When you approach a junction, adapt your driving so that you are not forced to stop at a point when you are obstructing cross traffic. The same applies when approaching pedestrian crossings and cycle passages. Remember, reduce your speed and be alert on streets with a 50 km per hour speed or less. The bus has priority when moving off from a bus stop. Here's a picture.